Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
I want to talk about the misconception, because you hear it all the time, of getting your foot down earlier, or people thinking that having your foot down means that you're ready to hit. Because I know I see a ton of players, and you probably do too, that can get their foot down, but they're not ready to swing. So foot down does not equate to ready to hit. And so you need to figure out, what does ready to hit mean, and then what does it feel like? Because ultimately, the idea is that even if my foot's not on the ground, I need to get to this point to where when the ball tells me to go, I can go. Mm-hmm. If you need to go, but you're not ready to go,
you can't go.
You can't go. The ball's past you, even if your foot's down. We see that a bunch. Like, you'll see players that are late, and you'll hear people, what do they usually say? Get your foot down, you got to get your foot down. But that doesn't mean they're ready. So they get their foot down, and you demonstrated before we press play on this video, is that they have to then try to keep getting ready to go, but they don't have time. The ball is on them. And by the time they continue to load, now the ball's past them. So it's feeling that you are ready, whether your foot's down. Some players have their foot down early. They'll put their foot down and they'll continue to get ready and loaded. Some players do all that with their foot in the air. But essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to take all the slack out of your body. So we talk about getting the lower body coiled and loaded and getting the upper body coiled and pulled back. If you think about slack, let's just say a truck that's towing something, right? And so let's say you have a rope. You have a truck and a trailer and you've got some rope. Well, the only way for the trailer to be pulled when the truck goes is the slack's got to be taken out.
Yes.
So if there's a bunch of rope and there's slack in it and the truck goes, the truck's going to go, and then the rope's going to slowly start to get that slack taken out of it. And then finally, when it's all taken out, the trailer goes. So the goal is you got to take all that slack out during your loading process, so that when it's time to go,
0 to 60 as quick as you can.
0 to 60 instant, boom, go.
Yes.
So like that, exactly, when you say, if you're that truck and you say boom and you press the gas and the truck moves, the trailer's got to go, your swing's got to go immediately. And too many players don't get to that point. No. So their foot may be down, but the slack ain't out. And then they've got to try to take it out, and they're late. Or they never take it out at all, and I mean, you're gonna get a pushy swing with no bat speed, you're not gonna be able to drive it at all. So the key is, instead of saying all the time to get your foot down, get your foot down, get your foot down, I would worry more about telling players that you've gotta be ready to hit. Be ready. We'll do drills where, and we'll do it off the bag, you can do it off of the tee or off soft toss, where you can make the player get to that point, make them feel it. And you'd mentioned that too, like, what does it feel like to be ready to go, right? Like, what does it feel like to get coiled, get loaded, get pulled back, so that if I were to say right now, like, get into your hitting position for a minute. Now, if I were to say go, right, finding a spot where if I said go, boom, right when I say go, he can go. Now, we'll do it off the bag. We'll put a bag and get him in that position, and then I'll just say go, and boom, you got to hit. There's some players where I'll say go, and you'll see them try to load some more. Right? Those players aren't ready to hit. So it's how quickly can you go from that position. You can go soft toss. Get the player loaded. Make them feel. What does it feel like to have a lower body and upper body loaded and ready to go? And then I'll just do a quick little flip. Wham, they got to go. You don't want to see a second load and then swing, because you're too late. And baseball, softball, there's a lot of time constraints on it, right? You don't have all day, especially as you get older. You don't have time to waste. You've got to read, recognize, and react to the ball super quickly. And if you think that you're going to be able to get a second load done when the ball's right there, you're out. So that's my biggest thing, is don't be so concerned with the front foot. Getting your foot down earlier doesn't mean that the player is ready to go. You have to be ready. Take the slack out early so that when it's time to go, you can swing.